From the first time I saw you, I knew you'd be mine. From the first glance you gave, my world is slowed, you stopped time.
Oh goodness.
Don't put that in there.
And in that moment, I could see all of the things that we would be. You were the girl I was waiting for, that I would ask to marry me.
Deke's very intriguing. He's very quiet, and then once you get to know him, he's like la 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 la. But I love hearing him talk. I just sit there and listen to him talk forever.
First off, I'd say she's beautiful, inside and out.
He's funny, and
She's got beautiful hazel eyes.
he's really genuine, and he'll be your friend. He's anyone's friend, and he's a really good friend, and he cares about you. So.
And most of all, she's got a good heart, personality.
Get to know him.
And you can't help but love her.
I love him. I think everybody should love him. End.
Overcome with joy, you've taken me high.
The first time I saw Deke was at HSM, of course. And he had really long blonde hair. And he played the electric guitar at HSM, and that's all I knew him as. I knew him as Jordan Combs' friend. I actually thought it was Jordan Combs' brother, because they looked so alike. But I thought he was this kid with long blonde hair that played electric guitar. That typical stereotype of a person, I guess.
My first big memory of her was here at Camp Nathaniel at a D Now. I'm not sure what year it was, but I think she had just got her brand new guitar, her acoustic, and I was looking at it and I was like, I want to play it. And she was real shy, and I'd look at her and she'd look down at the ground. And I asked her, I said, you care if I play a guitar? She's a little hesitant at first, and I was like, oh, and she's like, okay. So she let me play it, and then she stuck around for about a minute or two, and then she went off and done something else with her friends. I think she might have hung out with Elizabeth Bentley. And then I got done playing, so I put it back in the guitar case, and then later that day at the D Now, she asked if she could play my electric, so I let her play it. That's the first time I remember seeing her. Well, we were at HSM. It's been a few years ago, and we were sitting in the back, me and Jackie and my friend Bubba, and we'd all sit back in the back when Stephen would have his message. I remember sitting on the back steps, and we'd sit and talk and have fun at first.
The stairs of HSM, whenever I would stay back for college hour, and then he had to stay back to put his guitar gear up at the end of that. And we'd sit back there on the stairs of HSM, and he was so nervous, and I don't know, he said he was nervous and he didn't know what to say to me.
And then I found out she really liked cats. So in my off time at work, I'd look up cute little cat pictures on my phone. And then every Wednesday I'd show them to her, and she'd laugh at it and giggle and, oh, that's cute.
But he would save pictures the whole week of like cats and like little things that he could show me, and so I'd be like, look at this cat picture. And I was like, but it's the way that he could like talk to me, so. I
made it a mandatory thing every week to do that, just to talk to her. It's a little cheesy, but it worked.
I think just those moments on the stairs where we like started becoming friends, and I was like, this kid's pretty cool even when he starts talking, and then now he won't shut up, so there's that. But I love him.
'Cause I'm gonna make this place your home. Settle down, it'll all be clear. Don't pay no mind to the demons, they fill you with fear.
It was kind of like a mutual, like we both knew, like we really like each other, and then we never really said anything. We were honestly the third wheel and the fourth wheel for everybody in the world. So we would go to these movies with them. I don't know if you count that as a date because we're their third and fourth wheel, but we would get like put next to each other at the movies, and we were just like, hey.
I would say our first date was to a UK ball game. Her mom and dad got some good tickets, pretty close to the floor. And I remember that we was going to Lexington and stuff, and I was getting to know her and her family, and really enjoyed herself, even though she's a Michigan fan.
It's cool though to feel that like we were friends first, and like that's what marriage is. It's friendship. Like you marry your best friend, and you want to be with them. You don't want to be with someone you don't like. We had been talking for like a year, and we were waiting till I got out of school, and then he talked to my parents.
The first time I remember talking to Grace and Clark was, I think it was one day after a Wednesday night service. I went and talked to him and said, I'm very interested in your daughter. And Clark said, we've heard. And Grace said, yeah, we've already checked you out, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them. If I had a daughter, I'd check the guy out too, you know. I don't want the average Joe just come up and date my daughter. So we sat there and talked a few minutes, and they made sure I wasn't a killer of any sort. And it felt good, even though I was a nervous wreck on the inside, and Clark had me for a loop there for a second, and I'm like, he's not gonna let me date her, because he got real quiet and stern, and I guess he was thinking. And you know, they prayed with me, and they said that it was okay, and just to treat her right and treat her the way that she deserved to be treated, and love her like Jesus. First day we decided to date, we went up to a cross on a hill in Hazard.
Yeah, we went to the movies, and we went and ate Mexican, and then we went up on the hill in Hazard. There's a cross, and that's like a special place that we usually go and talk about life and get to know one another. But
then we went up there and prayed, and it was at nighttime. It was good. We prayed, you know, to have God in our relationship and have Him first, and for Him to guide us and lead us.
And he was like, you know, I talked to your parents. He's like, I know that you like me. He's like, but I'll make it official now. Would you like to be my girlfriend? And I was like, yep. Yep, that's good.
Lover's coming for his bride. There is none upon the earth.
Typical day, just hanging out.
We're like a bunch of old fogies.
Depends on where we are, I guess. But if I'm here, usually.
Well, after work, I would show up.
Deke will walk in, and my dad would go, talk to me, Deke. What's up? What's new? What's new in your life? That's about it. Deke always knows when he walks in the door, talk to me.
We'd just sit around, watch TV, go upstairs and play some video games or whatever we felt like doing. And then it'd be time to eat. We'd all get around the table and eat.
We'll hop in the car and go to Dairy Queen and get a new latte or something, and just sit in the car and talk about life and, you know, catch up, because normally we're apart for at least a week. So we like to talk a lot in person when we see each other.
If it's basketball season, college basketball season, we'd all hover around the TV, and of course me and Clark, we're big UK fans, and we like to rub Michigan losing in her face all the time, but it's fun.
We just like spending time with each other. Like if we go to my house, it's like, no, we have to put like a movie on, or we don't have to do anything like that. We just sit and we'll talk to my parents, and or we'll eat pot pie. We'll go to the movies. When we're in Corbin, or when I'm down at school, we go to Dino's, which is an Italian restaurant, and it's the best place in the whole entire world. And it's our favorite place to go.
We'll normally go to the movies, or go eat, or we'll eat and go to the movies. It's whatever. If there's a good movie on, we'll go watch it. If it's a kids movie, we'll go and laugh and have fun, and because we're both big kids. We just do whatever we want to do, you know, just spend time with each other, laugh, and just make memories.
My family jokes now because I always said I would never get married. I'm never gonna get married, guys. I'm just gonna live on my own with cats. And I said that till I was probably in middle school.
Jackie actually brought up the subject of marriage, I'd say fairly early in the relationship. I'd say about a year.
We had talked back in October. He was just tired of driving, tired of being apart because we'd always been long distance,
And at first, marriage scared me to death. I was like, I don't know about this, you know. I mean, I know I love her and I really care for her, and I wouldn't mind spending the rest of my life with her, but I was sitting there thinking, man, that's awful early.
We talked back in October and we're kind of like, you know, let's not put God in a box. Like, there's so many times where we don't trust and we're like, we do what the world wants us to do, but we're like, you know, let's just put this in God's hand and let's just jump and go for it.
The longer I knew her, my love growed for her, and I just kept getting closer and closer to her, and then finally I said, it's either I'm going to do it or not. And you know, I prayed about it and I felt good about it, and I asked her mom and dad.
I didn't know when it was going to happen, but I had a good thought that we would get married sometime this summer or this fall, so I was right.
I heard your heart say love, love, love. I heard your heart say love, love, love. I heard your heart say love, love, love.
The day that I asked Jackie to marry me was on a Sunday, and I really didn't come up with a plan until about a couple of days, well, I'd say a couple of weeks earlier.
Oh, I love that day. That day was so great. There were so many surprises in that day.
I was scared to death. I'm like, I got to do something good to keep it, you know, memorable. I was just in the shower one day after I woke up, and it hit me. I said, I know exactly how I'm going to do it, because I wanted to keep it within the church. I asked the preacher at my church, and I asked him if I could maybe possibly bring the church band from the youth ministry that I'm associated with to play on a Sunday morning. And I told him that I was going to propose to my future fiance. He said that would be fine with him.
Well, me and my parents got to church early because we were going to go watch the One in the Mini, because we were going to go up to Michigan right after they played, but Deke was adamant. He's like, I have to play at my church, the One in the Mini. We're like, okay. Grandma was like, come on, just leave. We're like, no, I think we need to stay. But so we got there and there was nobody there, so I was like texting Deke, and then I was like, maybe I'll go upstairs and see if anybody's up there. So I get up there and Steven's up there, and he's at a computer, and apparently on the computer it said, Jackie, will you marry me? I was clueless. I didn't have a clue that's what it said. I didn't see it. But Steven was acting really weird. He's like, no, I don't know where Deke is. No, you should go back downstairs, like now. So I was like, you're weird. So I went back downstairs, which she is weird. I went back downstairs with my parents and everybody else came in. Everybody's really excited. And I was like, yeah, it's exciting. We're at the One in the Mini. And so then we go, and me and Autumn sit up in the front row of the church, and they're all playing, and it was really great. We had really great worship, and then me and Autumn prayed, and it was really good. And I noticed, like, while he was up on stage, I had told Autumn, I said, Autumn, Deke has this rash. Like, he had this, like, red hive on his neck. And I said, what is wrong? And she's like, oh, it's nothing. It's nothing. I was like, okay. I was like, maybe he's just nervous or it's hot in here or something. So he comes back and sits down, and I was like, Deke, what is this on your neck? And he was like, it's hot in here. And then he just, like, runs out, and he's like, I gotta go to the bathroom. So he runs out. 2 seconds later, Jordan Combs follows him and is like, Deke's gone for a while, but apparently he'd been up talking to you and to my sister, who I didn't know was there. But so Jordan comes back, and I was like, Jordan, where's Deke? And he's like, oh, he's okay. So then he comes back and sits down, and when he finally gets back, it's like the end of the service basically, and it was really weird because they went up and they played their song, and me and Autumn would be talking, but Steven's mic wasn't working, so we were laughing at him. Apparently Deke thought we were laughing at him, but we weren't.
After Sunday morning service at my church, the One in the Mini played, which is the band at HSM there, and I asked Steven to just acknowledge the people that work the merchandise table. And I said, I know it's a little out of the ordinary, but have them come up and kind of have their backs toward me so that I could get the ring ready. Well, they come up there and Steven was talking.
And apparently Deke had snuck the ring into the Altoids box on his pedal board. I didn't know that. But he had grabbed it during prayer, apparently, and put it in his pocket.
I was nervous. I was shaking a little bit. It was a big decision.
Steven's over here on my side. I was like, yeah. See, I don't know what he said. He was babbling on. And he was like, Claudia, we just want to thank you for everything you've done. I was like, come on, just get to the point already, Steven. Are you going to give some sort of award or something? And then he's like, what? And I didn't get the hit. Apparently, Deke had been down on one knee for like 30 seconds. His whole church had seen it, and they were like, but I didn't notice.
I got down on one knee, and Jackie had her back turned to me, and then Steven, he kind of made a face and then pointed at me, and Jackie turned around, and
I turned around, and I was like, ah! And then I just started crying, and I saw Deke on one knee, and he was like, try not to cry. And I was like, bawling my eyes out.
Her face was priceless. I wouldn't take anything for it, and gladly she said yes, so everything's good.
Everybody was cheering and clapping, so he couldn't really say anything or else I wouldn't be able to hear him. But finally he was like, Jackie, will you marry me? And it was cool because I think I was the only one that heard it. I don't think anybody else heard it, so that was kind of special.
Her hand was shaking so bad that I had to grab her hand and put the ring on her finger because I couldn't put the ring on her finger.
Oh, and then also after he had proposed, Steven had texted Brother Mike because he had to get permission from the church because he was going to miss the Sunday. But apparently, even before Deke even proposed, Brother Mike had announced in church, like, Steven's not here because Deke is proposing to Jackie. And like everybody at my church knew except me because I wasn't there. But I didn't know if he's like, and he texted him and said, she said yes or something. He's like, Brother Mike's like, well, good, because I told the whole church.
I'll be your shelter when the wind blows. Love will be together. When the storms they rise, well, I'll be right there by your side, and I'll sing, I'm gonna love you forever, I do. I'm gonna spend all of my days with you. We'll carry your burdens and be the wind that shall by. I'm gonna spend my forever like that.
Our ultimate goal for our marriage is to glorify God and to, show that picture of Christ in His church, the bride.
My goals for our relationship and marriage would be to provide for her, to love her like Jesus loved the church, and to protect her to the best of my ability and put the rest in God's hands.
Build on the love that we have, and I know people say, I've never loved you more, on your wedding day, I've never loved you more, I'll never love you more than I do right now, but I want to love Him more, every day. I want to keep learning stuff about Him and picking that little brain of His and learning more about His heart. I feel like I already know a lot, and I know I already do know a lot, and I know I love Him a lot, but I know with marriage, it just gets deeper.
Going through the thick and thin, good times and bad, because all that's going to do is just going to make us grow even closer together and really just grow spiritually with each other so we both could get closer to God and to raise our kids to love the Lord. And if we do that and we're happy and we're sold out, it's going to be okay. I can't tell you what's down the road around the corner. I hope it's going to be good things. What God has for us, we don't know.
It's up to God, wherever He wants us.
We know that we love each other and that we love God, and, we trust Him in everything that we do.
We've always been long distance, so I'm can't wait to just you never lose me, I'm always here. But yeah, just getting used to each other and not having that long distance, so it'd be really great.
Going through the thick and thin, good times and bad, because all that's going to do is just going to make us grow even closer together and really just grow spiritually with each other so we both could get closer to God. I would trust her with anything that I had. She has my 100% trust.
I love you, Deke Whitaker.
I love her. I want to be with her, and I want to grow spiritually with her and raise a family together.
Love is the arms that are holding you, and love is a place you will fly to. Love never fails you.